What?
Nice.
Good job. All right, so we're gonna do a little Clan Battles Season 4 review, and I have here William the Dank from '07, Everyone from NEP, Matsukaze DD from Yikes, No CV, whatever their current name is, which is
Dude,
No
it's no
CV.
CV. Come on.
No underscore
Oh my
CD.
god, whatever.
Static,
Yeah.
the Warmonger from ZR, and a few of the Adopt guys, Kaiser, Beanlin, Klein, Kozero, and Lobster, and myself, Grusky. So we just want to talk a little bit about a few topics that changed from clan battles. One of them was the final meta. That is the first topic I want to really add. Stalingrad is not all it's cracked up to be. So really, all you really have to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
at the end
it
of
depends.
at the end
It
of the season,
depends.
you were seeing at most one Stalingrad from any serious team,
It
if that.
depends on what league you're in.
Yeah, of course. The
The
metas.
lower league you are, the
Well,
more you can just club people with Stalingrad.
fair enough. You were seeing one Stalingrad at most at the top of Hurricane.
Yeah.
Even then, like towards the end when we were playing with our Bravo team or whatnot, there was only one team that was running more than one, maybe two Stalingrads, and they brought up four Stalingrads against us like 2 or 3 times within a week, and each time they lost like no contest. It's
Yeah.
What was that? Was that SEC?
I think no, was it
Um,
SCC? I don't know.
Yeah, suck it.
Oh, either way,
Additionally, I think Des Moines had a bit of a resurgence, unless
Yeah.
that started before our Clan Battles stream. But
it started
apparently,
day one for our
Legendary Mod Des
clan.
Moines
During-
is just like the memes.
Legendary DM was used as the counter because you could bait so much stuff, and with the meme acceleration, you were able to just tank so much incoming damage because people had a choice. Do I shoot at the battleship when I have nothing else to shoot at? Or do I shoot at the broadside Des Moines that's going to either crush my shell?
Yeah, the way I also see it is that with the Zell dying down due to that 203 millimeters having no quarter pan, basically means that Des Moines has no way to worry about stealthier heavy cruisers. Now Des Moines is the stealthiest heavy cruiser by meta. Zell is like you only see like one or two at most, even in Typhoon.
One.
Yeah, one. And like
One
I don't
playing.
think I don't think anyone serious playing above Hurricane runs two Zells or more than that, whatever. But the point is like, yeah, it's like kind of like predator-prey relationship. So when one is down, the other surges up. It's very much like how Hindenburg counters Moskva in season 2, and therefore you see almost no Moskva at all.
Yeah, exactly.
We would run two Zows depending on the players we had.
Well, like Legendary Mod Des Moines, we used since I don't know pretty early in the season. It was hysterical how easy it was. Actually, like a great capping DD if you're not capping DD, but a capping ship if your DD couldn't be there.
Let's be honest, it's pretty much a DD at this point.
Oh
Yeah.
God, am I seeing Burgone in Republic?
So this is
Yeah,
the
dude.
replay
Jesus.
going on is the last night of clan battles. We were just deciding
Okay.
to meme a little bit. I think the other team was too, and we were just trying. There's memes countering memes, and we were just trying to have fun on the last day. So whoever's watching this, don't take this as like this is an optimal lineup. We have 3 DDs. We have a Burgone, which was surprisingly effective as a meme generator.
Hey,
Any
we're seeing-
replays that
we're
you're
s-
about to see are from the last 2 nights at
Yeah.
earliest.
So
When you see
Don't expect
three
any,
DDs,
good
it's,
comps.
I don't think any top clan runs like 3 DDs or more than that.
We're
yeah.
the only team running two.
This literally happened. Somebody was trying to get their like 4 clan battles wins for Typhoon to get the rewards, and we were just like losing, not having fun. Everybody was beaten down, so we just
Yeah.
kind of were like, hey, let's just have some
The
fun. with
value
it.
of having fun is often underestimated, I think. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
last night
I
was
agree.
for me.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you can have fun and have fun, but then you
It's
don't.
like if you're having fun and you take a loss, it doesn't have nearly as much psychological impact as if you're not having fun and you take a loss.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's something I've noticed. So more about the meta. Daring. People started
So
using it.
this is what I wanted
Yeah.
to really ask about. We only used it the last night here in the
Fantastic.
replay you see, but we talked about it in the stream, and the general consensus was it's trash. Don't use it. So what changed? Like, what did you guys figure out? And I couldn't put my finger on it.
I want
So-
to say that people realized that it was like it had the same effect as gearing except better.
Yeah, well, okay, we knew it kind of would have the same effect where you can bunny hop the smokes, but it does it way better because the cooldown's really short.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the daring in a straight up gunfight wins any 1v1 DPM wise, even against a Haragumo.
Because it
Even
outspots the
Harugumo?
horror.
Yeah, the Daring
It
like
outspots the Haru by like an entire like kilometer.
it outspots the Haru, and then when it chooses to fight, it actually just smacks the fuck out of it.
Because you can choose to fire and hit
I
broadside.
actually didn't know that. I thought Harugumo might be the exception.
So
No,
what
Haruguma would win if it got the drop on the Daring and managed to surprise
Yes,
it, but then
it never gets the
it,
drop
it
on
will
the
never
Daring.
get that. It will
so
never
in
get
that case, does like the
Actually,
Daring
yeah.
go bow on or something to
Daring is just ridiculous, frankly.
Actually, Daring doesn't outspot Haruguma by a kilometer. It's a 0.2 if they both run full concealment. But then again, I suppose you're talking about like, in clan battles you choose IFAG and RPF, so no concealment build. That's possible, but I don't think anyone would go that far into Haruguma in clan battles.
No, we okay. So we
Depends
ran a
on what you're using it
Haragumo all pretty much the better part of the clan battle season, and that build was they took a range module over a reload module just to that way they can spam Stalingrads out of radar range, with ease. And then it was like the standard Haragumo concealment build. So they took concealment expert captain skill, they put on the concealment module, and a propulsion module, and then I believe he took BFT, basic firing training, to kind of make up for the loss of DPM for not taking reload module. That's at least what we ran, and it seemed to be pretty effective for us. I guess what would be like the Daring captain build? Pretty similar.
I can tell you here when I get out of this randoms match in about 30 seconds.
Are you serious?
Fuck yeah, I'm playing with Kwangdu, come on.
Also worth noting, we 7 actually put a Z52 to good use towards the end there.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna counter that by saying the Zed is still garbage, your player and it's just really good.
It's probably not that great, but yeah, there's no denying that we used it well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your player and it's really good, but I still think the ship is garbage. I think the only reason it worked for you is because you guys always play your DD super conservatively. So all he's ever doing is screening, essentially. He's never like actively trying to get into fights like ours are.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
his defense
I've absolutely noticed that. Like,
he's
Especially
so
when you have
passive.
one
never
jump on
dives
there,
into
too.
any caps.
He never, he's not Kelser. He doesn't go rock diving every match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's,
if he's
I think,
diving a cap, he's doing it through the safest route possible. He's not just skimming in and eventually getting to the rock.
yeah, he's playing super safe all game, and that's the only reason the Zed does anything for him. It's definitely that's one of those it's like Dolphin Princess's randoms builds.
Well, then, yeah, so I
Oh
guess
god, we don't speak of those.
I guess the same. I guess the same could be said about Daring, to be honest, because you have a good player in Daring, and that's what makes a difference. Otherwise, consider any
I think
other.
Daring itself is just it's good. Like we knew
Daring
it was
is
a better.
Daring is
Daring.
just a fantastic ship, and you
It
can
is.
play it like a
I
moron.
don't deny it, but it's just the thing is I feel like you still have to have a good player in it, like more so than
Let me
other
rephrase that.
destroyers.
You have to have a good player in it, but that player can play like zero respect.
Yeah,
So,
it's a pretty.
so
it's a
hard.
pretty. It's a pretty.
Like
beater ship.
Amatsu, I shot at you so many times, and so many times you just
Wiggle.
no
wiggle.
problem. Just a little wiggle and it's all off, of course.
And of course, I can keep all my guns on because the 360 turrets are fucking delicious.
Yep.
Oh,
So
the 360 turrets are. Oh,
the 360
Disgusting.
turrets, the reason why we took it in this meme composition is you can see at the minimap, our Haragumo and Daring are right next to each other. So the idea is I'll provide Hydro for the Haragumo and spotting, and he just lights cruisers up. And it seemed to work pretty well. I can't say this is a strategy you'd want to be doing normally in the season. We were, again, just having fun. But it was really effective for what we were doing for, again, just having fun. I guess the one thing I wanted to talk about too before we leave Stalingrad completely alone is we dropped it for a Moskva, I don't know, weeks ago to kind of take the role. And our reasoning why is our Stalingrad was eating a lot of torpedoes. Big surprise. It's a big ship that isn't very maneuverable and has no hydro. So we took the Moskva and instantly our Stalingrad players' survivability increased a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the main thing is the Stalingrad still fulfills the same principle as the Moskva, just having inferior DPM but better ability to tank. You can take more damage and you can dish more damage on a per salvo basis, assuming that you can catch that target off.
I would say that Stalingrad has a bit of a harder time tanking. My reasoning being that it's larger,
it's bigger.
it burns longer, it doesn't have hydro. So if you switch to a Moskva, your survivability is probably actually going to increase compared to
and
a
Moskva
Stalingrad.
gets the hydro.
Yeah, and
his
you
position.
have to
Stalingrad is all about the ability to threaten to punish broadsides with the AP.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to take damage control system mod too because of the burn duration. Whereas on a Moskva, you can just take acceleration mod, press W and S, and easy tanks.
So the increase
We
in
found
health
that
pools
acceleration on the Stalingrad was still worthwhile, actually.
Uh,
But it's
I mean,
arguable, definitely.
Yeah, it's arguable, but the main thing is just obviously the Moskva having the significantly better maneuverability.
It depends on
Yeah.
if you're a corner camping bitch or not.
Kozuro, this game is ridiculous, by the way. Like, how many people are you gonna dub strike?
I only dub struck 2 people.
Also, can we before we move on from the meta, can we also mention that the other thing that came from having Stalingrad in the season was a massive resurgence of Henry IV.
Yes. So
Oh, okay. It was gonna.
Although,
it was
also
gonna
of
be,
note, by the end of the season, it had kind of died off along with the Stalingrads.
yeah, because it was getting dunked on by DMs.
So
Yeah,
that's
it
why
was getting dunked by Des Moineses and
It
Yamatos.
was like
and
the
such.
meta shift we saw. It was Stalingrad heavy at the start, and then it switched from the Stalingrad to the Henrys for the counter to the Stalingrad, and then the Stalingrad died off, and then mid-season it maintained being the Henrys. It slowly switched into the Salem and the Des Moines.
exactly.
Okay.
So
Mostly
Well, I
the Des
think
Moines, though.
I think you guys were the only ones running Salem's.
I would know.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I can't tell you how many expanded brain Zows ended up turning Bao into me in a Salem, and I'm just sitting here like, what is the play? What are you possibly going to do with a Bao and Zhao to a Salem?
I don't know.
It has more health.
Apparently,
Has
if
to
you're
reload.
if you're a Moskva, apparently you can win that.
Hmm.
Hello?
Hmm.
Hello?
Well, we'll get to
Are
that
you
later,
sure?
guys.
Are you
Come on, we
sure
have
about
that
that?
replay queued up.
Yeah, I'm very
So-
sure about that.
the one thing we really liked about why we chose bringing Haragumo and Zaus for our lineup was usually a Montana or sometimes a Yamato. Then for our cruisers, we ran double Zao, Moskva, and legendary mod Des Moines. And then for DDs, we ran Shima and Haragumo. And the reason why is we would pair our Stalingrad and Haragumo together. And Henry's would run at the Stalingrad thinking, okay, easy feeding. And the Haragumo would absolutely tear through Henry's. And same thing with Zao. We found the Zao would be a hard counter to the Henry's. As long as the Henry can't close that distance, the Zao did pretty well.
Oh yeah, we kind of found out like season 1 Amatsu.
Yeah.
Like way back, where we discovered that on hotspot, oh wait, the counter to having the one-line push Henri is having a Zao on the same fucking flank.
Yeah, and the one thing we tried to drill into like our newer players' heads is when you're in a Zao versus a Henry, unless that Henry's like stopped broadside to you, never take off HE. You just do your HE does so much damage to the Henrys that it's not really worth taking the time to switch ammo types. You're still going to be doing between 6 to 10k salvos.
Depending on how many shells you hit, and assuming you do have legendary mod, which means that on average you'll hit, 1 or 2
8.
more shells.
Yeah.
Does that
I feel
mean-
when your average Zal volley is like 9 out of 12. Feels really good.
Yeah,
So-
9 out of 12 with legendary mod at max range feels good, man.
Yeah.
So Zao is
Also
still
worth mentioning, I think, is battleships. Back in the clan battles stream, we talked about Montana a lot,
Mhm.
but in Top of Hurricane, it pretty much died. I tried to make it work through the end of the season, but by the last 2 days, I was like, no, it's just Yamato.
You just don't have
Fuck
the
that shit,
velocity. You don't have you have the
hate
pen at
that.
range, but you don't have the velocity, and you don't have the 32mm overmatch.
It's really just the overmatch. Like, I maintain that I just hate Yamato because of the shape of its citadel and all that, and how slow it is to do anything. You can't have fun.
That's fair.
But at the end of the season, it was more effective.
It's almost like Overmatch is a very cancer mechanic that,
Yeah.
like, until it gets changed, will always make Yamato pretty much the viable choice for clan or any competitive.
Yep, and it sucks.
No diversity allowed here.
No.
I mean, I memed a little bit. I was allowed to take Bourgeon and Republic for like part of the mid-season. I only did it for like 2 games for each ship, but it was
Yeah.
hilarious to watch the world.
I played like 2 games in Republic, and my only thought was,
I hate this. I want to die.
the enemy team has a Yamato. Fuck me.
Yeah, I'm fucking dead.
Why doesn't this have a spotter plane?
Not only why doesn't this have a spotter plane, why
got a fucking
is it that
helipad.
whenever I get the perfect shot off, the dispersion is absolute garbage?
Yeah. So Grezky, if you can bring up like either of my replays, I
Oh, yeah.
think we can go for the
me
second
bring
one
those
that I
up.
sent you. It's not the important one, The important one will be the one after.
God,
I'll come back to this replay in a minute. Then I'll grab yours.
Yeah. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not planning on making this exceptionally long. I don't think there's enough to talk about to make it that long.
But I want to jerk off at how good I am at ships. Come on.
You'll get it
God.
eventually, Natsu. Come on. All right, so are we all good with the meta?
I'm trying to
I
think.
think the only
there's
other thing I
not-
could mention is that Hindenburg really wasn't at all.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Hindenburg didn't exist.
I saw one.
We tried it once or twice.
I also didn't
real
see.
bad.
I saw like one Wooster all of the second half of the season.
No, 5D ran Worcester a lot.
Yeah, we
I think
saw a
those are
couple of times.
because
Like
I
I
think so
said, like
because,
one
like,
Wooster for the second half of the season.
Your mic is even worse now.
Your mic has been like taken over by a demon, dude. Like twist the cord, pull it in and out of the slot, put it back in.
And then go
And-
buy a new mic after that.
Yeah.
I also had a little bit of hope for a Minotaur back in the stream, but nobody wanted to give it
No.
another shot.
You can't
Oh,
with the
so
fucking
all Des
camera.
Moines and Yamato. Okay, do you
Oh,
want
and the
to
daring?
explain
All
this?
Okay, so just to explain this real quick, at the beginning of last night, we at 07 were like, okay, so we don't have the points to contest first place anymore. Let's actually have fun for the first time in like 2 weeks and try some meme builds. We're gonna switch comps every time we lose. And we switched comps once all the night.
mentality shift.
I also got to play Daring, which is fantastic because I fucking love that ship.
Not
It's
the
a good
daring,
ship.
dude. It's the darling.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Of
I mean,
culture.
did you see my Jutland strats? Of course I'm gonna love Daring. So,
What do you do with 5 Des Moines?
Dude, look at all those islands.
you sit them on islands.
Yeah.
Or, well, actually, you don't even have to sit them on islands because they're all propulsion
Oh, I should
Oh,
grab
that's disgusting.
Shiz's
propulsion
replay
legendary.
of him.
So you can actually just open water them. Like,
Oh
they're
yeah,
just good.
we had a
Yeah.
game last night when we were memeing it where our legendary mod Des Moines had like 500 health for, I don't know, it seemed like 5 minutes, and they couldn't hit him.
I think I sent you that of my point of view though.
I should get Shiz's point of view on that one because it
Oh,
was
I wanna see
hysterical
that.
how long he lived. It shouldn't have happened.
Yep.
yeah. So Daring is really, really dirty because of how hard it just accelerates and wiggles around. Like,
It's the Minotaur of the season. It's the naked dude covered in oil running through the library.
Yep.
Alright,
Oh, and by the
oddly
way, we've
specific.
got 3 shells per second with an 8% fire chance before Demo Expert.
And single fire torpedoes, even though they're kind of shit at 10 kilometers.
10 kilometers, yeah, but they're good enough. They help slow down pushes, and that's good enough.
Oh, I'm gonna find that replay of our Des Moines because
It's not like you're gonna play a gearing for the Torps.
Yeah. Oh, also,
And if you're not playing a gearing for a Torps, then you might as well just play a Daring instead. Because
one
of
of
the
my-
like escape potential.
yeah, one of my claymates wants me to say Hurricane needs elo decay and leave it at that. I agree.
Oh.
Hurricane needs what?
Elo decay. So you don't have teams that will not
Oh
go
my God.
named that literally
you
get into
guys.
Hurricane and then well
You guys were talking about like 10 minutes queues, and I'm like, man,
10.
well, happy if it's 10. And I'm just sitting there like, man, we just get 4 and 5 minutes. I guess that's just what you get for running like 10 people for the entire season.
Yeah. Where's
Russ?
wait? Do we have this? Did Halcyon show you the screenshot of our 19-minute queue?
I don't
Oh
think so,
god,
but-
dude. It got to the
At
point
the-
where playing in the late season for us over here in ZR is like we were getting into like the 8 and 10 minute queue times, so we spent at least an hour of the 4 hours
And just
literally
queue.
just waiting. for a queue.
Absolutely. It's like 30 or 40% downtime at the top of Hurricane.
It's so ass.
I think we're going
Literally
to
started
encourage
memeing.
bond.
I think it definitely depends on like on the hidden MMR and not just clan rating, because like I said, we at 07 were actually getting pretty decent queue times for most of the season. And I think we can chalk that down to the fact that that we had a lot of people working on their Typhoon wins for the whole season.
what was it? It's like I think the last season or the season before, somebody said like the top team can only play against other Hurricane teams or like teams in the struggle
Or
to
Typhoon
Hurricane.
1 relegation. Yep.
Yeah. So
Pretty
you're
much, yeah.
significantly reducing the pool to
And
what,
if
like
you want to
30
play
teams,
against
20 teams?
anyone who is within 100 points who is outside of 100 points of you, you have to wait like 3 or 4 minutes to
To even
just to
expand
begin
the
with,
bracket. Yeah.
just to be able to match up against them, assuming they're even in queue.
That's
No, that
how
happened for us. We had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 games on the Thursday that I played, which was like this past Thursday before we got. My God, we went up against like 5 Typhoon teams, and it's like, oh yay, we win and get 8 or 9 points, but we
Yeah.
lose. Oh,
Oh
there
yeah,
goes
by
30.
the way, at the top of
32.
Typhoon, in order to net points, you have to win.
80% of your
You
games.
have to win more than 3 games per loss.
Wow.
So 75%.
It's 80% to even profit a little bit. And with your queue time, if you lose one game, you're grinding for the next 90 minutes at least.
Yep. If you lose a game, that's at least 1 hour of game time that you've just tossed out.
Yes.
Ooh.
I feel like that's what Wargaming wants, to be honest. They feel like Hurricane should be only reserved like the top tier competitive clans, like 90th.
Top tier competitive
Well,
clans.
sure,
As I
but
sit
did
an
you
hour
see
in
the
queue.
state of Hurricane at the end?
Oh,
What,
yeah.
What happened at the end, once people actually started hitting Hurricane, what happened was they would just never ever play their Hurricane rating. They would get 1 rating up to Hurricane, and they would never play it ever again, because if they lost 2 games, they would get put into relegations.
Sounds about right.
And there are only like 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 5 clans on the entire server who are actually capable of netting points in Hurricane.
About 5, yeah. Sounds about
So
right.
what is going on with your Des Moines here at A? It's being chased down by Henry.
You made a mistake.
Oops.
Rip.
Also, guys, can we take a moment to appreciate that MIAA played their hearts out, man? They finally got into Typhoon at like 200 and or
They
not
played
Typhoon,
like a
Hurricane at like
gajillion games, yeah.
270 battles.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
That's
call that
dedication.
perseverance. I'd call
Finished
that
the season with 339 on their lead rating. That's
Mhm.
dedication.
Adopt burnt out, like getting through, only fighting what seemed like yikes in our hurricane struggles every single time.
Yep.
Sorry.
Same
Yikes
kind
is
of
the master of
Only them.
gatekeeping.
And then we just got like so tired of the game, we just like stopped playing, and I think we were
Yeah.
left in Typhoon 1 because we just couldn't play anymore.
We can't
Although-
play. We couldn't play any other teams, so
Well, maybe
It's not
you
your
have
fault.
gone both of your ratings to Hurricane 300.
If you guys,
Oh,
I would
fuck
be
yeah.
curious to see if you guys would have lost, how many points you would have lost to us. Like
32, 33.
30 plus
Wow.
35.
That hurts. That really hurts.
That
Yeah,
was
and
enough.
that's why we can't. Yeah, that's why we can't afford to feed you a
Yeah.
game.
Like,
Also,
where are you guys? Are you like Typhoon 1 or?
yeah, we were Typhoon 1.
Typhoon
We made it to the
35
struggle for Hurricane
more.
a few times, but like
twice.
I think 35 is actually the maximum.
Yeah.
Like if we waited for like a 20-minute queue and finally hit you guys, we probably would have lost 35
jeez,
I
Yeah.
mean,
and gained like
that's
6.
devastating.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8. It's
at
Yeah.
least that second time we played Yikes, it wasn't too embarrassing.
So
Yeah, I mean, we were close.
Before
I
we
was
get
happy with
to-
that.
too far into like the results of the season, I've got a couple of extra filler bullet points just so that we can get
Yes.
through this replay and into the next one.
Okay.
So, first and foremost, the good bits. What did we like about this season? How did we have fun?
I liked that the Stalingrad Moscow meta finally shifted away, because playing against only Stalingrads and Moscows every game, like sure you could win easily and stuff, but it was just boring. I was bored to death.
Everyone was just sitting still,
Uh-huh.
shooting at each
I
other.
can definitely appreciate the vindication that Stalingrad was not defining the meta at the top of Hurricane at the end of the season.
Yes.
Gee,
Comes down to skill after all.
This is what we've been talking about for months. I'm
Yeah.
glad that it came true.
That is my favorite. Let's see, Haraguma was just hysterical for us. That was a lot of fun. We had a really good Haru player.
We took radar yo-yo with your SAT score.
Jeez.
and
Yeah.
The principle of that was that you would have that as basically the first countermeasure for outspotting an enemy DD. Like if you knew for sure there were torps that were already coming on the way, and let's say somebody had RPF and it was pointing in a general direction, you could generally gauge roughly how close the enemy DD was.
Mhm.
So you could pop the radar, get the initial shot off first, have the DD open up on the enemy DD. They turn out, they potentially get chunked for over half their health. Now they have to play more conservatively.
You
And
Yang,
then
man.
you would push back based on that.
You guys were playing it, and clearly you were making it work, but man, I still just don't like the idea of picking it.
I have to agree with that. I think it was Cuter.
It just seems so
Cutie.
pathetic.
One of the cute clans was using it pretty effectively. They didn't win the game, so I couldn't tell you that it was super effective, but it did give us a big headache. So with a good Yu Yang player, it is good, but I still say most clans should probably avoid it. Or at least this season. Next season, who knows?
Yeah. Next season, make sure that one of your people gets good in the daring.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big one next season.
Remember, next season we're also probably gonna have Russian deep water radar guys. It can only affect BBs and CVs.
But hey, there's gonna be next season.
Socio deep water radar guys.
With
And
only that
CVs
too, we can
and
probably
battles.
have CVs too.
No.
No.
Surely,
Yeah.
No.
surely they will review the season and see that a clan named No CV.
Surely they'll make it
All right,
change it.
so let's talk about that. So I'm just gonna. I always refer to you guys as Yikes because you switch your name so much. People know you as Yikes. So Yikes was number one. Their clan name is No CV. What was like the clan title? Like please, no CVs and
Please.
clan battles.
Please never ever add aircraft carriers to clan battles, please.
Yeah. It's a bit of a later topic, but I think I can at least say thank you for making that _CV your clan tag, and please leave it until that ends up on the loading screen for
Oh
North.
yeah, no,
Please.
that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's why
Excellent.
we did it.
You are all our heroes.
God bless.
I'm a little bit sad that we didn't win the season, but I'm less sad knowing that that's going to be on the loading screen.
It's got to be on the map now. Hell yeah. Unless Wargaming's like, oh, it's offensive, rename something, we'll be like, fuck you.
Which one were you particularly surprised by?
Yeah, this is Wargaming after all.
Yeah.
So
I think they'll leave it. I have faith. I
They
think
leave
they'll leave it.
Wargaming pay to win alone, so
Yeah, exactly. Like that's probably worse.
that's probably worse because
Oh.
that's directly insulting their company, not just their balancing decisions.
if you
I
guys,
feel like they're gonna just leave you alone because it's only no CV. I mean, your whole name isn't showing up there yet.
Yeah.
Take a pretty wide loading screen
so
for a paragraph.
if you guys don't have another good bit, I just want to add one. It's going to be a very unpopular opinion, and I contradict what I said in the initial training stream. I like Land of Fire.
Fuck that, man.
You're wrong.
No, you're right. I love
Feel
Land of
bad.
Fire because that's where 07 sealed the season
So-
for us.
I like it playing as Legendary Mod Des Moines. Playing between those islands at CCAP was
Well,
just
speaking
incredibly
of the
fun.
bad bits, let's remove Land of Fire from the clan battles
I would be
rotation
okay
and
with
never
that.
Bring it
So
back.
Bring back Hotspot.
Hotspot.
And can we all
please.
agree on this?
I will agree. As much as I
Like,
kind of did fun
I would
with
take
it,
back Mountain Range. I hate that
Ooh,
map, but
ooh.
less than Land
I
of
like
Fire.
Mountain Range actually.
I like Mountain Range actually.
Oh,
I
that
hate
map.
Mountain Range, man.
It's at least
That's
So
interesting.
big and open.
That's like
Nothing
2 against
interesting.
1.
But I'd rather have Mountain Range than Land of Fire. Wargaming? Bring back, like, I don't know, Hotspot. Anything that's not Land of Fire.
Also,
Literally
it's
Matt
like one of my
needs to
favorite
be
maps.
to
Well-
be deleted.
Part of the reason why like Hotspot and Mountain Range ended up getting removed was because CCAP was just a cancer stalemate. You would literally sit there and it was just a matter of who could manage to kill the support cruiser on that side and then just push through and overrun them from the side of the cap. That's literally what that was.
A quick note on the replay right now. I started this engagement with 28,000 damage. Just a quick note. You were saying?
Oh, no, it's just like it was such a massive stalemate. It made playing those maps unfun. Like if you got the map, it was just the DD goes here. All right, here and go watch a YouTube video and come back and oh look, I've been radared for 2 minutes, but they haven't done anything to me because you can't shoot over the rock, you can't shoot behind the rock, you can't flank around to shoot the rock because you're gonna get your shit blown up. So
Fine, Kelser doesn't play the game
Yeah, that's
anyways,
fair.
so it's perfect
Let's
for him.
find a new map that hasn't been used in clan battles before and use it to replace Land
Shatter.
of Fire.
oh
Shatter.
shit.
Shatter. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I hate the map,
Fantastic idea.
please.
Let's add
No,
Shatter.
no.
It's better than Land of Fire.
What about Atlantic?
I will brawl you. And
I'd
say
take that
no.
too. Anything that's not Land of Fire.
Two brothers.
Yeah,
Two brothers clan
Two
battle.
brothers.
Oh,
Two brothers.
Oh,
Let's go.
I'd take it.
Make
Not
make
Land of Fire.
Can you
Make
imagine the
middle
mad mid
cap
rushes?
The contesting cap. Make the middle, the little straight, the contesting cap.
Oh. Oh my god.
Oh god.
They need to put this in like one of the next clan
Anything.
battle tests.
Literally anything except Land of Fire. I can't emphasize this enough.
Someone said
Land of
Okinawa.
Fire is a clusterfuck,
Hey, you know what?
and nobody
I
should
would-
ever like it.
I would take the new
Okinawa?
Okinawa. I would
Yeah.
take the new Okinawa. I would.
Absolutely.
I would add that in an instant.
New
That was
Okinawa
not
is
a
actually
bad
quite
map.
interesting.
Is there another replay request we want to put on in the background? Otherwise, I'll just put up some filler.
Do,
Put up the first one that I sent you. That's the important
Okay,
one.
so this is before we go on. So, do you want to talk about a little bit more of the bad habits while this one loads up, or the bad bits?
I actually want to just
So-
mention one point if William would allow me.
Sure.
I feel like Minotaur can use armor buff now if it wants to stay competitive in CB. It should at least not be overmatched by Henri anymore. Just my opinion.
Did you
Just
say
downgrade
Minotaur?
Henry's, just downgrade the guns to like a 230 caliber, but keep the shell stats. It's not that hard wargaming.
Then you kind of lose on the IFHE, 50
Yeah,
millimeter
you
pen.
lose the IFHE, but you don't overmatch the Minotaur anymore.
Well, the point being that if you are gonna have potentially Azuma and also the Stalingrad now, that's already 2 cruisers plus Henri can overmatch a Minotaur. So Minotaur is the anti-Yamato of the cruisers, even though it's a light cruiser. But look at also Worcester. Hello.
Alright,
So-
Worcester
I gotta say, with this,
I would definitely be open to Minotaur getting a bit of love. I don't think that the solution is downgrading Henry. That seems
No, I disagree with that.
pretty roundabout. Minotaur seems pretty mediocre in most scenarios,
I
even
would say
outside of clan battles at the moment.
it has less than Deering's armor right now.
I think
Deering
Minotaur
armor.
is definitely in need of a little bit of love rather than anything else needing to be taken down.
Okay, so before we get too far in this replay, I want to just ask something mostly because I know people are going to ask it that don't know as much about the game as you guys do. So because I'm asking it, why Salem for ZR? Everybody I've pretty
because
much
radar
asked.
doesn't matter this season.
That's your question?
No, okay. Obviously, the 3 Stalingrads.
You're
too,
holding
but,
down
like,
tab, and that's your question?
Wait, oh, you have 3 solids and 2 waspas.
Yeah, no, but like, so what do people see in the Salem? I don't know what's the use of it that I can just take a punishment and heal
It's
most
got
of it
great
back?
DPM
It's got
and
the mean heal. It's got
and
the
the Des Moines
5.5
AP,
second.
and it heals
reload.
better than a regular Des Moines.
Yeah, heals better than a regular Des Moines. The main thing you were using for, or at least we were using it for, stick it on a flank. Good luck to the cruiser that has to fight that, because not only can you not out DPM it, but you cannot
Can't
push
outtrade it.
You can't outtrade
Damage
it.
that it takes is mostly irrelevant unless it's Citadels.
So
And it can
somebody-
generally arc over and have the better ability to farm or get angles than
Why not
any
just
ship
bring
you
Des
could
Moines?
possibly put on the flank.
because the
Des Moines
Moines
doesn't
doesn't have the
heal.
heal. It's
Okay.
only
Yeah.
it's literally the only heal that makes
Yeah,
a
the
difference.
point
Everything
about
else is
bringing
over-
Salem would be to trade with cruisers, not to deal with destroyers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we don't put it out there because nobody's gonna put a destroyer generally that deep on most of the maps. Like, you're not gonna stick a DD on the 9-10 line on
No, unless you're
Land
us.
of Fire.
So somebody's asking, does Salem take Hydro or Radar in clan battles?
Hydra.
It still takes radar, but
Well, I'd argue you can take both.
You can kind of
it kind
argue
of
it either
depends
way.
on how you want to use your Salem.
Yeah.
The main thing is, like, we didn't use it to screen. We were just using it
If you're
specifically
using
to sit
radar
there.
and Salem, then why not bring a Des Moines?
So before I let William dive into
It's just
this,
against the purpose.
two things. Somebody mentioned Stalingrad's definitely not OP, and then we show a replay that has 3 of them. As William said earlier, this is them just kind of.
This is a meme composition. This is our second meme composition of the night. The first time that we ran the Stalingrads and Moskvas and Kurfürst, as it happens.
So
we lost the previous game with our Des Moines lineup and swapped over to this.
So you have the massive health pool advantage.
Pretty
Um,
massive, yeah. A few things of note in this match. Everyone's going west. This is a meme comp. But one guy in a Moskva was literally ordered reverse onto onto the border.
So I almost want his replay just to see
That's going to be
this.
very important later.
Oh my god, is this is the replay?
And
This is the replay.
I also want to point out, like, the other team that we mentioned that ran like 4 Stalingrads or whatever in Moscow's, they spread them out. You guys are doing the right thing keeping them all together, because how do you say no to that push? Like, what do you do? Just throw ships in front of it? They have so much health, so much armor.
This is a meme composition. Don't analyze
what
our
I'm saying
plays
is,
too
if you're
hard.
gonna do a meme composition, at least do it right. Like, at least don't play stupid. You're putting your health together and being a pushing force. Where the one I was talking about, they would just kind of sit there.
So there's actually a lot more into this game than just like what's going on inside of the match itself. This happened last night. I want to say around 6:30 Pacific time, and I'm going to call this the season decider. This is the match that solidified the results of the season.
Well, okay, it locks us into playing Scribble for the rest of the night.
After this match, spoiler alert, but ZR no longer had the time to gain the points to challenge Gaishu and friends.
Yeah, we
They
can
had just
now.
come
They had
off-
been at you guys and Yikes had
ZR
been at 370.
ZR had just
since,
come off of
like,
a loss
Wednesday,
against
Thursday.
Cafe, which
Yeah.
put them back a lot, and then they just came into this game, and this ended the season.
William, did you? Okay, not gonna lie, we were watching 07 and ZRQ. Did you guys? We saw you guys drop into queue right as ZR. Did you guys snipe them intentionally?
No, we were playing meme comps, and we were just playing the game.
Did you actually just happen to rent? Well, okay,
We-
ZR can't.
We
fight
actually
anyone
just
else,
happened to
really.
play them.
And if you're gonna know you're gonna fight ZR, you probably don't bring a meme comp. That's I guess my only comment on that, right?
No, we would have happily taken it. Like,
Okay.
like I mentioned before, at this point in the season, like last night, we gave up on having any particularly good results for the season. We were content with 3rd place if we got it, because ZR had been making a pretty nasty
Nasty push in
climb
the
up
last week and a
rankings
half.
for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't
Like, it
gatekeep
was
them enough.
genuinely really impressive how quickly they got up the Hurricane rankings, because
We were
it's
sitting
tough
behind
to-
like
we
were
said
sitting behind
before, it's
RPG.
really tough to gain points in Hurricane.
Yeah, especially it's tough to gain points on Hurricane at all, but especially once you get to like the top 3,
No, that was definitely an impressive push.
stupidly hard.
I saw them on the leaderboard like a few weeks ago, and my thought was like, is ZR
And they were
like,
just nowhere, right?
yeah, like I was like, oh, they're
They
probably
were
just
like
burnt out.
they were
They've
amongst
been
the
playing a lot.
plebs. Open water.
We didn't
staring
have
badly.
a full roster where we could maintain having a consistent team. We had callers that were out. Halcyon disappeared for a little bit. Rabadu was on deployment. Kashimakaze is on vacation in Japan. Like, we just didn't have everybody that we normally would have.
That happens.
And I was relegated down to only being able to play 1 day a week. So I couldn't even be there as a filler because of my job, which pays the bills. So I can't really complain.
Yeah.
I know that feeling, man. Like, I want to
Yeah,
say
same.
one of the biggest reasons why we in 07 weren't able to really fight for the championship in the end was because of just bad attendance. We had like 10 people in the last couple of weeks who we felt we could trust to play the game and not screw up.
I'll go. I want to go
And
into that a little
we
bit
were just
after.
waiting for like 2 hours each night to have enough people to actually play.
Yeah, I'll go into that a little bit more after this replay. I'll let you keep talking on that or talking on
so-
this.
So more about this replay. So obviously ZR has noticed that we have 6 ships going for their B cap. They've pushed their people at C all the way through the cap and are starting to come through to B. If we can go into like the free look now and take a look at that Salem, I think he might be having some problems.
This is what I was
He'll
talking
have
about.
some problems soon.
This is what I was talking about. When are you sure the Mosfa doesn't beat the Salem in DPM?
That's right. I hate the replay camera.
Oh, have fun with the replay controls. I'm glad I'm not the one doing it.
Oh,
Oh
no.
god, I didn't mean free cam. I just meant looking behind us, but
Oh.
you can do that. Yeah,
So-
so like we're not going to be able to see the Salem and the Moskva anyways because destroyer vision.
Nice 14-kilometer render range, by the way.
Yeah.
Render range is bullshit. Can you just make it
But
universal?
we'll watch it on the mini map at least. So I'll go back to.
Oh,
looking
actually,
at
I
it.
have a better replay for it. I think
Oh, if you have that, we can.
I have Potato's point of view. It's buried in Yikes Discord somewhere.
If you can find it and send it to me, we'll load that up afterwards just to get a good view on that, because I heard that battle was epic.
It was something, man. It's a meme comp, right? Versus one of like the top 3 teams on the server. The other 2 being 07 and Gaishu and friends. It's just like, wow.
So, oh man, that blood on the Yamato right there,
Yep.
and then setting fires to him.
Oh, here, Guzky, check Wow's chat, Wow's general. Wedding posted the battleship point of view so you can get render range on it.
Aha.
If you just want to quit out of that replay and like fast forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna load this one right now.
Obama, if you guys want to like settle on a name sometime, then
No,
feel free to.
never.
But until you do, I'm gonna call you Gaishu and friends.
I feel like that's a good one, personally.
Alright, so I'm loading up the other replay.
What was Yikes' overall win rate for this clan battle season? 75?
Something
74?
like that. I'd have to go look after the match.
Mm.
It's something like that.
Yeah, because
I mean,
over here, our average.
I'm Hurricane otherwise.
Yeah, no, our
Yikes
average over here in
finished
ZR
the
was roughly
season-
69 point, or not 69, like 69%, almost 70.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
77.7.
The website says Yikes finished the season with 77.7%. But that might just be their lead rating.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say, like,
finished
what
the
is it
season
overall
with,
when you take into account, you
yeah.
know, the Bravo and the Alpha rating?
Our Bravo rating is at 309, so
Are we quite literally just turning this into a ZR shaming stream?
yes.
I mean, we could. But we
Okay.
shouldn't. No.
We just didn't have the players consistently.
Yeah.
So I'm
One
gonna
day
keep,
you would be subbing out 2 different people. Another day you'd be subbing out 2 different people. Some people
I
I
mean-
believe early.
Clearly you guys had the capability to climb up the ladder just as usual, really, but you know, real life happens.
Real life happens, and team consistency was the other problem.
I feel like you don't have to do the cam right now because PQ is gonna die anyway. I think he's gonna go into free cam, and that's gonna be better for
the free
than this.
cam in replays is like super glitchy. If you want a stroke, I'll go ahead and put it on.
Okay, good point. good
Otherwise,
point.
I'm gonna leave the floating cam.
Yeah, so we actually kind of threw away our battleship here. Like, our battleship claimed that he heard an order to push into A cap, even though no such thing happened.
Wait, that wasn't intentional?
That was not intentional. Of course not. He just died there.
Well, okay, we thought it was him intentionally just buying as much time as possible for your Stalins to get into position.
Nah, man. That was actually just mongery. Thank you, PQ. But it's okay because we won. So really, it's just hilarious BM, right, PQ?
I
So
cannot believe
this
that's not
Salem is
actually
having a hard
planned.
time here. We can see. And there were a couple of things that went miraculously right in this game. One of them was the Yamato flooding out and getting flooded and burnt down. And another one was just the push in general, right? But the last one was the Moskva reversing into J6 that I mentioned earlier, because he just caught them completely off guard. And this Salem is just like, well, I don't know what the Salem is just like, honestly. He's just kind of struggling. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, Doyle's just too broadside right there.
Yeah.
Way too broadside.
I mean, especially since the Salem has help coming up soon, and he could just go bow on, and he should win that fight.
And that would have been an easy win right there.
I'm pretty sure the
'Cause-
Salem already healed though, so he's gonna be
Yeah, he
going
did
down
already
real,
heal, but-
real
Yeah,
soon.
he did.
That major chunk is arguably what got Doyle killed, because that was what, like 15, 8,
12, 13k.
12,
Yeah.
13k? But 12, 13k,
At
even
that,
with the Moskva
yeah.
having in them, now the Salem doesn't have the health to trade anymore. Because there's such a massive deficit.
All the Salem had to do was press S. Well, the reason I think he showed too much side there is because he was afraid of Kebabs Stalin like blapping him.
Hmm.
But like, if he just
Maybe. I mean,
maybe Kebabs
that
hits
would have
shot.
been
I
a
don't
pretty
even.
wacky shot.
Yeah, I don't know if Kebabs could even hit that, but like maybe he hits that. But like to completely mitigate that, the Salem just presses S. And not only does he not get shot from the Stalin, his shells stop hitting the turrets in the 50mm belt. His
See, now- Here's the thing. Why would he be scared of Kebabstusov right there,
Yeah,
sitting in F4?
He's kind
if
of
his
behind an
guns-
island.
Yeah, his
Maybe
guns
he's
not
can't
gonna
even
go
arc over
anywhere.
that island.
I mean, Kebab
Hey,
looks like he was spotted
what
most of the
happened
time too, so it's not like he just didn't know he was there.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So, in addition, back up north, we focused down the Stalingrad really hard, so he's just running off of the map, which happens to be what gave me just free access to A, as well as free access to just harassing the Henry and the Zhao. So yeah, Yu Yang is about to hop into B as soon as this Moskva goes down.
I
But
think he actually went to B, but he came out of it. I have no idea.
I wonder
why.
if he got radared or something, and then
No, he was
maybe
opening
be
fire.
mobile.
Meanwhile, he just turned out for some reason.
yeah,
And plus, if he did get radar, like Moss is so occupied with Des Moines, like he can just sit there freely behind the island.
And it's taken a long time to kill this Moskva. That is such a
yeah.
Saturated bell,
Yeah.
deck, everything. Also, I wonder how much Kelly Clarkson tanked with potential in this game.
Also,
Yeah.
the Reds just like shooting
We'll
over.
check.
Yu Yang firepower, by the way, outgunned by Shimakaze.
Well,
Yeah,
potential
that-
damage I had.
That was quite the play from the Moskva.
Mhm.
And all that time that the Des Moines and the Yu Yang have been distracted, we've just been mopping up in the north.
I had one game in Salem on Sleeping Giant. I ran down the 9-10 into Kaiway. A Worcester, a Yamato, a Stalingrad, a Harugumo, and a Des Moines shooting at me. I had 2.7 million potential damage in only 1 minute and 40 seconds. That had to be the dumbest game I've played recently, or throughout the entire clan battle.
Man, this as much as this game it's still kind of close. I mean, just looking at the scoreboard, there's a 30-second difference in winning.
Well, at this point, 07 actually wins by points, just by the ticks.
Oh yeah, that's what I
Simple
mean.
math.
And we also have health, and we also have people, so it's basically just over.
Oh yeah, I just meant like
It's
the
just a matter of how we finish it.
because you guys basically you did cap A, but you guys really just did kills and used your damage as your advantage, and
The push got a lot of damage done, and the Salem was caught up really hard by the Moskva. And that was enough to push a meme comp into victory against one of the strongest teams on the server.
Oof. Potato almost got himself killed there.
did we have any other replays that anybody wanted to show? If not, I'll just put up some.
I sent you another one,
Oh okay.
the other one that I
Okay.
sent you.
I thought we did put.
Oh,
you
oh,
sent
wait.
me
I was
two, we
just gonna
watched
say,
that.
Oh yeah, we already
mine,
did too.
second
Well,
one.
I've got one more if you like. I can just
Sure.
send it to you right now.
Yeah.
Let me do that.
do mine after. the
If
second
not,
one
I was
sent
just
you.
gonna put up a B-roll of my clan battle. I streamed a private stream of every clan battle session I played, so I was just gonna throw
Alright.
that up.
There's one more. That's a fun one.
Oh, here. Wedding wants me to give you this one. I'll drop it in.
But honestly, I think we're kind of running out of things to talk about.
Yeah, I can't think of any. If anybody has suggestions for topics, real quick, while we throw this one up.
I do have
talk about
a
that.
topic I want to ask the 3 Hurricane members present. What do you guys think about this season going to the next? What do you feel like should be changed aside from obviously the fucking the Land of Fire?
Can't wait to uninstall the game because carriers.
Open up the matchmaking. Give us more points. Don't add carriers.
Yes, no carriers, please. I think that's something we can all agree right now.
Like,
Still
either
carriers
open
from
up the
game.
matchmaking, or in fact, you have to do both, really, don't you? Open up the matchmaking so that we're not having like 40% downtime to get
so
into
dumb.
matches against Typhoon teams in their promos that last 6 minutes.
Yeah, and the Typhoon teams don't
And
like it
we
either because they
gain-
get clubbed.
And we gain 6 points in order to go back into the queue and wait for another 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like that's just not very fun.
Did you see the EU picture of
Our
some EU
first
team?
our first game of the night last night, actually, we had to wait 16 minutes. 16 and a half minutes. That was our longest queue of the entire season.
Some EU team had to wait 33 minutes for a game.
Isn't that like Rain? I think like they were the one.
I don't know who it was.
I took up RuneScape to pass the time. I don't know what the rest of you.
Nice.
I legit
would-
actually took up RuneScape and I played it during the loading screens. Or during the queue.
'Cause you
Old
have
school
the
or
guns.
RuneScape 3?
I was killing cows and fishing and doing all sorts of things.
Old
Why not
school
Maple
or
Story?
RuneScape 3?
It's literally the
Old school.
Oh, hell
You're
yeah.
alright.
You free to play on old school or are you a member?
I'm working on getting a bond.
Ooh, I need to get like 70 range so I can get my my carols from Barrows.
Cool.
Let's get back to the topic. at hand.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
Oh,
The more
so-
interesting
So
game.
first of all, open up the matchmaking so that our queues are shorter, and second of all, give us more points for winning against lower ranked teams because the queues take ages, and we want to actually get rewarded for winning games after waiting in queue for like 10 minutes.
I mean, even if they made something like, say I'm a low tier team and you guys are still, 07 or Yikes or whatever, ZR, and I play against you guys. If I lose like 5 points, I'm not really upset about it. Like every time we played against you guys, we were only really upset about like the Yikes stuff because we were in the struggle. So that sucks. But then again, if you want to make it to that
it's like-
league, you got to play teams in that league. Otherwise, you're not good enough. If you play teams lower than that, like
If people in High Hurricane are hitting people who aren't in the struggle, it's basically irrelevant, right? You guys barely lose any points.
So like I'd be okay if like we fought you guys. Obviously, we'll probably lose, but we lost like 5 points or something. Like I'm okay with that. I feel like you only learn by playing teams that are better than you. You're not going to improve if you play teams that are worse than you.
Absolutely. Bring back season 1 matchmaking, please.
Constantly
removing
coming like
the
storm
Hurricane
teams.
League?
Well,
I want to see the dregs, and I want to show
You-
them what being good
you-
looks like.
You say bring back season 1 matchmaking. Would that mean that this would be the return of Zero PG?
Oh,
Well, we've already got that with Optimal Brother rating.
I should find
We're
my
going to put it into the game.
Got him.
I should find my replay of that from
After
season
banning
1.
an entire clan for like 2 days.
We made it into her Typhoon in the first season by beating 0 PG. So that was like an extra that feels good. But,
I feel like it's just like new people won't understand like what the meme was all about. It's such an old thing now. Like it's been like what, like a year and a half old now.
yeah, more than that. Or no, about a year and a half. You're right. So
okay, they put it in the game officially with Bravo rating.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
So somebody just
like,
put up a
please,
question.
please
X,
make
I'll
it
leave it
easier to
out.
play in Hurricane. Because like we mentioned earlier, most clans who got into Hurricane and then never played that rating ever again. Because if they played more than 2 games in it, they would lose those 2 games and get put into relegations.
That was our plan.
Yep. Our plan was entirely that.
Like,
I have
it
no
is
shame.
just not worthwhile for people who don't have like what 70-75% win rates in
Absolutely.
clan battles to play in Hurricane
And
League.
I'm
You
okay
get
with
there
that,
and then
because-
you're done because you have your purple clan tags.
Hurricane should
And
be
that
for like
and
the
that's
top
just a damn
teams.
shame because it's like, well, we people at the higher end of Hurricane are waiting for ages for people to come play.
So your good play is rewarded with
It's
shitty
literally
Because like
matchmaking.
the closest real teams are people who are playing Typhoon ratings, even though their main is in Hurricane.
Yeah, it's literally a punishment to be high Hurricane right now.
Yeah, I agree. Like only the best should make Hurricane, right? I'm totally fine with that. But then you should have some system where those
Make it
teams in
worthwhile.
Hurricane. Because that was
Yeah,
the
I
other
agree
thing
on
is when we were in the struggle, it took us 5-6 minutes just to find a match as well. So
And it was usually against us.
Yeah, and it was usually against you guys, and ZR a couple of times, and I don't think we actually fought 07 at all during that. But either way, it was just kind of like annoying. So I'd even be okay with that. One of the questions somebody brought up is similar to like what they're doing with King of the Sea, where you have a flex spot. So I guess, for example, of the question I think they're trying to ask is, you're allowed to have 7 people still, just like you are. You're allowed to have 1 BB, but CVs are now a thing. Would you take 2 BBs if they allowed you to not have it? Like, you have a choice between 1 BB and a CV or 2 BBs.
You always take the carrier because it's perfect vision the entire game.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as like micromanaging.
Incidentally,
your
that's
fighters
why
anymore,
you should not
so-
add carriers to clan battles.
Oh,
That's
it's
what
almost-
COTS is for.
Yeah. Oh, it's almost
with
like...
all the reworked skills.
Oh, no.
Is it really worth it to take a ship that's just going to get beat to shit because it doesn't have the proper AA to deal with the planes, or
This Henry, by the way.
Yeah, here we go, by the way. Can we also mention the flooding change for DDs real quick?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bring
That's
that up.
bullshit.
Yeah.
That is bullshit.
I'm as a proud battleship player, I'm okay with this. Or
Likewise.
as a proud battleship and gunboat destroyer player, I'm okay with
Oh,
this.
real quick before we go after that, they were asking if you can only have 1 CV or 1 BB. Which one would you take?
Always,
still
it's
CV?
just
CV.
it's always the
Carrier.
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 Okay.
Because you have Stalingrad though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Stalingrad's already your
You
filler
could fill the
battleship.
space with a Stalingrad or 2, and the carrier provides so much vision and so much striking power.
Or Azumas potentially
It's
if
like-
they make it a thing, I suppose.
Like, really, you should just have like a game mode where carriers are allowed, or a game mode where carriers are not allowed.
Like putting them in a scenario, right?
Mode where carriers might or might not exist leads to stuff like random battles, where sometimes you run Hydro and you get fucked by a carrier, and sometimes you run defensive fire and there's no carrier and you feel like shit.
Enjoy your useless consumable.
Exactly.
Like, oh, the carrier has noticed
Like
my
it's
Des Moines
just
is running
making an
Hydra.
entire. It's just like flipping a coin
It's
and
coin flip.
deciding whether an entire aspect of your build is going to be useless or not. Don't add carriers to clan battles, man.
When you brought up the floods as a battleship player, BFK politely pointed out the time you flooded out in King of the Sea, William.
Well, we won that game, did we not?
You did.
Well, I'm going to quote a wise man who is now dead from cancer. Rest in peace, John Bain. If you make a mistake but you win, it's not a mistake. It's hilarious BM.
I like that.
Hilarious
I'm gonna say
BM.
Rest in peace, Total Biscuit.
So let's see what. Let me pull up that other replay. Is this you just abusing a Montana for a while now?
Yes.
I can already see how it's gonna end.
I'm
So-
fast
Well, actually,
forward.
no. Hold on for a second. Hold
Okay.
on for a second, because I wanna just emphasize what's happening here. So, I was shooting at that Montana for a while, open water, and you actually fast forwarded past it. But I
Oh.
just took the only damage that I took in the entire game. I've basically hit 100,000 damage. This is why daring is fantastic.
Such a broken ship.
saw you basically
100,000 damage, and I've taken 1 overpen from a battleship.
Yeah, I saw you sitting there just waiting for them to fire at you.
Literally
You just hit
sitting
the
there. You can
forward key.
literally sit there.
That's
It's
actually
actually
Des
safer.
Moines.
Dotsie knows that life too.
It's safer.
I played Legendary Mod Des
It's
Moines that
safer
way.
to sit still and then just plan on accelerating when they fire at you.
Yeah, it's safer because the fucking acceleration from 0 to like a quarter is ridiculous.
That's
The
how
battleship,
I
whatever
played,
is shooting you has to like hard mind game you to hit you.
with
Becomes a
with
toxic
Legendary
damage
Mod Des Moines,
farming his own team.
I would take
Yeah.
IFA,
Gotta get more damage, man.
so I could what do you call it? Just wait for IFA to go off, and then I would just hit the forward key and dodge pretty much all the shots. It was brain dead play. Here we go. This one's from Wedding. Or is this a different one that you wanted to share?
This
Matthew?
is I think this
Henry,
is Fratstar. I think this is Fratstar's replay fighting ZR on ice.
Okay, I think this is it then. Yeah.
Where he resets SAT in the calf like 7 times blind at 18 kilometers. For the record, we were laughing at SAT because all he had to do was go into that cap to the west and hit the rock, and he's fine.
So one of our guys brought up, like, well, how would you feel like if your Hurricane rating diminished if your team never played?
That's fine. Good. Okay, it's only good as long as a system is implemented where it's not a punishment to be at the top of Hurricane. Where you're not doing the 20-minute queue garbage.
Yeah, like I'm totally okay with people just going to Hurricane and staying there for the purple tags. Like that's a completely reasonable thing to do. I can't blame them because the system is what's broken. The system where you have to win 75% of your games in order to gain points in Hurricane. Like that's too much.
This is Fratstar and the Moscow against ZR. Jeez, you guys are really just hammering on ZR right now, huh?
Wait, is this?
Isn't this just the second ZR
Henry.
replay?
Sorry, Henry. I don't know why I said Moscow.
I mean, there's always jingles if you want to back yourself up with that one.
So I'm glad there's some Henry player. I actually don't know Fratstar. I assume he's a good Henry player, or at least in clan battles is.
Well, his own clan calls him Throwstar, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of people asking questions about Henry in clan battles. So this
he is a good player. He is a good player. It's just that he seems to get caught doing something.
Oh man,
It gets
I don't know if I
Ryan's
should talk about
Blapstar
this
for
on
life.
stream, man. But man,
Yeah.
in season 1, we noticed that if we killed Fratstar first, or we put him down to like 5,000 health, he would kind of panic because he's the caller, and he would just call off whatever push he was on. It was kind of funny. But we actually noticed that and like used that as a chat. Okay,
So you found a glitch in the matrix.
it's not which ship is the best target, it's which ship is Fratstar, and can we like just focus him down hard enough.
There's a 40 underwater chess strategy going on here.
I think one of the most meme things that I saw was when they still had Fratstar and OPG in Season 3, and he tried to push 3 Zhaos down the 9-10 line on, what was it, Hotspot? Yeah, you don't do that when there's a Stalingrad, or not a Stalingrad, a Moskva sitting mid. I ended up having like 14 or 15 Citadels that game.
So he's doing
That's
the
pretty good.
standard Henry throttle dodge. Is everyone says if you just mash the back and forward key and you don't even know where you're going, the enemy won't know where you're going either.
Yeah.
So the Brownian
That's,
acceleration.
That's the American method of war.
The idea with Henry here, for anybody who doesn't know, is you run propulsion module on Henry, and you throttle dodge. So essentially, what he's doing, he's stern tanking. I'm assuming probably running IFA or incoming fire alert.
No.
And no, maybe he's not. But either way, as long as
it comes back to bite him in a bit.
Either way, if you're attentive enough, you can watch the shells coming at. It does get to be a bit much sometimes, so it's nice to have.
I am a massive proponent of incoming fire alert. Run it on all of your cruisers. Do it.
Really?
Incoming fire alert saves lives. And it also
Just
gets
get
you more
good.
damage because you don't have to think about shells that are coming in. You know that they're already coming.
I mean,
My
that's
problem
what
is
exactly when they're
priority
coming.
target is for.
I look at instinct, like, depending on how many people are looking at me, I understand just from looking at the minimap where I
How
can
many
already
are-
expect
yeah.
shells.
Someone can be
Yeah.
looking at
Coming
you
from.
and aiming at you without firing at you, though. An incoming fire alert tells you finally when they fire at you, and you actually have to start doing something.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but I'm already paying attention to look,
Ooh.
scanning the minimap or where are
Hello.
those shells possibly going to be coming from? Are they going to be coming from like the 910 line? Are they going to be coming
Well, yeah,
from
obviously
like
you
the
have
C
to
line?
have
Are
some
they
amount
coming
of map
that, you know?
awareness. But you don't have to be like looking at each individual ship to see if they're finally shooting at you.
I don't know.
And
That's why
that's the big
Yeah,
like
but
if you ever watch,
micromanagement relaxation that I find to be so valuable.
9
ever
times
watch-
out of 10, though, it's like you already know for the most part what can and what can't shoot you. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's why if
Okay,
you ever
I'm
watch
not-
any of my replays, I'll mash the right mouse.
I'm not
button
like
every
ultra
Zaro.
advocating for incoming fire alert in clan battles, obviously, because they're like 7 people in total, and probably only 3 of them are ever going to be able to shoot at you at once.
So,
But in random battles, incoming
I-
fire alert is
I do
fantastic.
think, like, to not, I guess, defend William a little bit, I think it's super useful on Legendary Mod Des Moines and Henry. Those are the 2 ships I'd say it's perfectly okay to run them in clan battles, and you're going to be fine, because they're not ships that are really starved for points either. You could run those 2 and be okay. I guess you could even say Henry, you're actually perfectly fine not doing it. I am a huge advocate for it being on Legendary Mod Des Moines. Especially if you're going to be doing things like open watering, sitting still, waiting for somebody to fire at you, and then just moving forward or something, because that seems to be the strategy. And obviously that's becoming a little less useful because good players are doing 2 things of, one, aiming well, and then also they're firing 1 gun at a time, or 1 turret at a time, seeing where you're going and then firing the rest. Well, there are counters to it too. If those of you who are hating Legendary Mod Des Moines, that's one of the counters. Just fire 1 turret at a time. I saw Klein here. He plays our battleship. I saw him doing that to Henry's and just absolutely wrecking them, and they had no idea what to do about it.
You simply mind game them even harder.
Yep. If they're gonna play mind games, you play big brain games.
No, you notice the battleship shooting 1 turret and then adjusting to shoot forward or whatever. So you just hit him with you keep reversing at him.
I know that life.
surely this Henry or this DM on the corner will not keep reversing into me. Oh, he just did. My shells just went over his head. Gotcha. Dude, that's why I fucking hate Legendary DM. It makes you feel so like. It makes you feel like shit.
I think it was against you guys, Matsu, where I forget who was the demon across from you. Was it like Don't Aim Me? Who is that, by the way? Like, you guys change your name so often.
That's Lunatic.
He's the same guy.
Okay.
He doesn't change his name.
Well, we were playing on Sea of Fortune. We were basically just staring at each other in the middle, kind of like just doing Legendary Mod Des Moines things. It was just kind of retarded, like the whole game.
It's so dumb.
It was really dumb.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, so that was another thing. Expert loader. Yes or no on Des Moines for clan battles? What do you guys think? I always hear like
Yes.
people
Yes.
torn.
Yes.
especially if
Run
you
the
have
special
like Halsey
captain,
on,
get that
you can
75%
You
expert
can switch
loader.
your guns in just about 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, and then be
Yeah.
like I shoot and miss it by 0.1 second every time. I
Indispensable.
Because like what happens is that like those point something seconds can really make a difference when a ship is turning and you happen to miss out on the little window where it gives you just the 28 something degree you have to get the pen on. So
Like, it's,
don't
it's just so
underestimate it.
valuable on Des Moines in particular
Yeah.
because when someone just gives you barely too much, you can just swap right over and punish it.
Like if you recognize, for example, that the target's trying to make a turn out or they're trying to make a turn in to angle to something else,
You're instantly
Punish.
ready, pretty much.
yes, it's
Especially
an instant
with-
punish.
especially with Des Moines AP angles.
Unless you, for whatever reason, whiff the shot, but
And I mean, like the thing with Des Moines AP angles, even good players will get caught by DMAP sometimes because it's so obnoxious the angles it can sit you at.
Well,
I think I have a replay here against PSV if you would like it. It shows
Sure.
my perspective on the Salem, but
yeah, let's do it. I think
I
some
mean-
people are curious to see Salem play. And
yeah, let me
I guess while you kind of load that up and send it, so we talked a little bit about no carriers in clan battles, and I guess I just want to say, for the discussion's sake of this, for people that are kind of newer, trying to learn a little bit here, most of the people here are anti-CV in clan battles, myself included. So I guess take that with a grain of salt. I know some people are really like I don't know, looking forward to having that. I don't think it should be. So you know, you're wrong.
True.
No, but basically, we're I guess all pretty much against it. So if you're looking for, I guess we should talk about like some changes, maybe even positives it might bring, or just even overall changes to clan battles without trying to be too negative about it. It seems like it's going to be likely put into the next season, depending on how like King of the Sea goes and how I think they're doing like clan battles cross server tests again. So
I feel like with the recent, like take this season for example, like obviously there's a huge effort on Wargaming's side to remove like the so-called meta ships. Like you don't see like Zhao in season 3 and Hindenburg season 2 anymore. None of those ships. Like everyone has a fair shot except maybe Hindenburg right now. So maybe they're trying to like diversify the gameplay more. In that case, like if you think about the decision of bringing in the CVs to like I guess spice things up a little bit, if you would. Like that's a logical way of going about it, but then again, you think about the things that are lost in the process, the ever-present air spotting, the ridiculous, endless capacity, bottomless hangar, like all those things. And yeah, like William mentioned too, having to spec A just because the possibility of a CV in queue, like those are just straight up BS for most of us. So, is it really worth the trade-off? I'm gonna leave it to the audience to decide.
yeah, my personal opinion is
Spoiler alert, it's not.
Boy, I can't wait for DDs to be completely invalidated, because not only do carriers do the spotting job way better, fucking DD torpedoes are useless with the flooding change. Feels good.
Well, let's be honest. If you were playing a destroyer for the torpedoes, then you were already doing it wrong before this.
I mean, ask Mechanox about his mid pushes on North and torpedoes on that.
My personal opinion on the whole CV thing is, you have a great surface ship to ship combat game, and just adding CVs just seems like it's being forced in. If you're gonna add it in, the game's like most enjoyable moments is ship to ship combat. CV just kind of like throws that off, like the whole flow of like enjoyment, I guess you can call it. I'm trying to put it really simply.
It's a completely separate game.
Yeah. But King of the Sea is going to be very interesting to see how that all works. I know Adopt is debating on. Well, we're going to play of some sort, but a lot of our players are debating on playing, just because there's so much going on. Clan battles just ended. Thinking about playing another time-intensive, tournament style thing, even if we kind of just do it for fun, is still a big time commitment. So that's one thing, but we're definitely eagerly going to be watching, and those of us that do play are going to be taking a lot of notes.
Also, one more thing on clan battles and CV. Like clan battles is about teamwork, right? So what does the CV really bring to the team aspect of things? Except from like the air spotting.
Infinite
Yeah,
spotting.
but how does CV counter each other? You're basically like flying planes across each
CVs
other.
don't counter
and,
each other.
Exactly. There's no sort of like actual team play.
The new
or
ones, at
counter-
least.
Yeah, there you go. So why disrupt a perfectly balanced surface
The
combat?
new carriers basically do everything that they possibly can to not interact with each other.
Exactly. Maybe
They even
fighters.
auto use their like DCP
Like-
and DF. Like what?
In random battles, I am 100% confident that the new carriers will be less cancerous than the old ones. But in clan battles, it's still a horrible idea.
It's the exact same level of cancer, because it's just the spotting.
Yep.
I'm still trying to find the replay right now because I
Sorry.
have so many of them. So.
I'll pop up something else then in the meantime.
Should do the second one I sent you earlier.
Okay, that sounds good.
That wasn't ZR's first loss of last night, was it?
Which one?
That last one.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't play CBs last night. I wasn't there.
Because
for it.
I know that they lost to Cafe and then to us.
Those are only 2 losses that night.
Yeah.
And they lost
Honestly.
like 70 points for it. I love Hurricane.
ZR last night was having a really great night, and then they just dropped 2 games, and that was it.
And then it's over.
Because
Wait,
Hurricane is brutal.
Wait, they lost 70 points in one match? Is that
In 2
exaggerated?
matches.
Oh, okay, 2 matches. That's
It
what.
was like 65 points or so.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I was like, wait, what is it that bad up high in the hurricane level?
Okay,
Because I was like, okay.
this is another one of our meme compositions, so take that as you will.
I don't remember which game this was. Oh, this is against.
This is where you have the white camo on.
Yes.
It's a pretty
my
ship.
glorious-
I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of want to show you guys the MIA game where we had 4 boosters gaining up on 1 Henri. The Henri died within 30 seconds of the open fire. Yep, 30 seconds.
Oh, this was against another meme comp. Oh.
Oh
good.
yeah.
Oh, good thing, because I just picked it at random, so I didn't know
Oh
which
yeah.
one to send
They
you.
had a Burgoyne too. They had a Wooster, Hindenburg,
And 3DDs.
Oh, so 3DDs versus 3DDs.
Yeah, there's the team
Oh, boy.
comms.
Oh, and we had a good old-fashioned no-you fight.
I didn't know how to respond to the no you.
I mean, the only way is you just say no you back. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because this is gonna be boring for a while. But I like.
I do get a 30k salvo on Stalingrad when we first see him in the middle.
Okay, so I'll stop it now. But I like the Hiragumo daring death ball that is rolling up the 9 line right now.
Is this? Wait. Oh no, it's not. Okay, I was gonna say, is this the one where Shiz is stuck in the middle?
I think it might be. Is
No,
it?
'cause-
No, that
no,
was against the ARP, I think.
Yeah.
I think we lost that game.
Which we lost. Sadly.
Okay, so this PSV game right here, it's mostly just a one-on-one until I get clapped, because there's no way I can turn and go up to where I should have been, but obviously the alternative would have been going dark, but the main thing was continuing the trade with the Stalin, but you'll see.
Okay, we'll do it
Okay.
again. So
Also-
fast forward quick through this one.
Alright, so while we were like waiting here, can I just take this moment and say, like how amazing it is actually for Adopt to be doing this, and also how much Adopt has come since I guess like season 2 when Amatsu and myself we picked you guys up, we're like, hey, you guys want to talk a little bit, and yeah, so Clan Battles is really
I think
but I mean you guys did all the work, and you guys are already far beyond where we started off, so props to you guys and also for you doing this.
I think for most
Yeah, you've
of the
got a pretty cool thing
season.
going.
Yeah, thanks guys. I think for most of the season we were top 20 at least, and then for a while we were top 11 or 15, and then we kind of just hard burnt out.
Oh, it's not this game. Oh yeah.
We just completely, I don't know, lost all track of energy of playing. I guess that's what happens when you've been playing for 4 seasons in a row, hardcore, and trying to play. So I guess that's a warning to other clans that are a bit newer. Is burnout's a real thing. If people say they're tired, just let them take a break. It's perfectly good. It's actually going to be better for your clan.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm now realizing I don't think anything interesting happened.
Okay, well
this
then
whole
I'm
game.
going to move on to
Yeah.
I'll move on to Statik's replay then.
Yeah, go ahead. It's not as interesting as the ARP one.
So
Which I
I'm
don't know
glad
what it
this is a Salem game, Statik, because a lot of people were asking about that.
This basically just shows what the Salem does being put out on a flank. Obviously, you're taking radar just in case that you can push something, because for the most part, you're going to understand if there's a DD nearby, you'll know it's nearby. But if you have the opportunity to be able to push it, it would be better to have the radar as opposed to the hydro, because me personally, I don't really need the hydro because I already know where the torps are going to be coming in from. And obviously you can't swap the defensive fire out, but I would rather have the radar to catch them out at 8.5 as opposed to the hydro, which would just catch them at 4.5. And that's assuming that you can catch them out. It's an off chance of doing it, but it would be better to have that just in case.
Yeah, that's fair. I think radar probably is the better choice in general.
Yeah, then again,
There are only so many destroyers, and you can definitely keep track of when their torpedoes should be coming around.
In general.
Feel free to fast forward it because of where I'm going to deploy to.
Hey, bros. Just want to stop by, say hi.
Hey, BFK.
hello BFK.
What's up, BFK?
Boys. What's up, boys?
You still at work, man?
Oh, I'm at the gym, but I just want to say what's up.
Of course, you're at the gym.
BFK getting the dank gains, man.
Yeah, BFK was explicitly off the list of people who we've trusted to carry us in the last 2 weeks. Just saying.
Ouch.
Ouch. My clan is so toxic. Just because I can't. Oh my god.
Don't worry, Adop's
And-
toxic too.
How about that?
So, Static, on the play itself, what's your purpose right now? Could you like elucidate it for us?
So obviously you can see the radar yo-yo over there on the 1 line. Stalingrad on the 1 line. Stalingrad is going to support if he can radar after like the yo-yo radars, and we can catch out the DD, and the Stalin's in range to radar it, pop it, try and get as much damage on the DD, eradicate it. Enemy team pushes back. My purpose over here is make sure that the enemy cruiser does not end up pushing down the 9-10 line for free. Because I can't tell you how many times this season I saw, like, some teams made that mistake. I will call Cafe out on it because they did it. I think it was Cafe. It was either Cafe or it was OPG that did it. They left a Henry sitting in C-cap on Northern Lights. Or not North, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or no. Warrior's Path. They left that sitting in C on Warrior's Path. I literally ran up for free, or down the 9-10 line for free, I should say. And he got easy clapped. And that was the end of, because they didn't have a ship to defend the 9-10 line, but they also didn't have anything to push the 9-10 line. I went through for free, and their entire flank collapsed. The point of me being here is to draw the attention away from 1 or 2 ships. If that battleship takes a pot shot, he might miss. That's a wasted salvo. If the cruiser ends up pushing me, he has a choice. He can't turn out because I'm going to AP him. He can't just sit there bow in because I out DPM him. But at the same time, it's like if he's kiting away, he has inferior DPM and he has inferior alpha because he can't bring all his turrets to bear without showing a significant broadside.
Feels American AP angles.
This is basically the first action I'm going to get right here, but the amount that I trade overall for my ship is worthwhile. It's just, the problem here is I can't play up on, the 9-10 line because if I have to push in, I'm too far out if they collapse. That's why I was keeping it on the 8 line. But
So-
you'll see what basically ends up happening to this Stalingrad right here over the next.
Well, it
I
looks
do
like
wanna
he's
point
just getting
out-
farmed.
A lot of people were asking earlier when we mentioned Salem, do you take reload or range mod? You take range mod, which I could.
It has to be range mod because with as passive as the meta is, where everything plays ultra far in the back, you can't play aggressive because the closer you are to the enemy, the more likely you are going to get clapped. But at the
Especially
same
with
time,
the Salem
if there's
seal.
yeah. But at the same time, if you're playing ultra far back, but at the same time the enemy team is playing ultra far back, if they're ready to kite away, you at least have to be able to engage them. And this is what I mean right here by inferior DPM coming from that Stalingrad. He just bounces off my bow and I'm just farming him for free.
He got 1 lucky Citadel, and he's done 0 since then.
I want to point out, is that Ovechkin
paper.
superintendent?
This is Ovechkin survivability
Yes.
expert, yes.
Oh boy.
Always a Salem, it kind of doesn't really have too much points going around elsewhere, right?
Well, yeah, but the
Ooh.
premise of taking SE is that now you have that you can print back. You just take you can tank more damage overall.
People ask me why I do that in Des Moines specifically for clan battles, and my answer is, what else am I going to take? Some people, the only other real argument I've heard is taking RPF on a Des Moines, which I don't personally use, or I don't know. I don't really see it being useful.
We use it. We use it because usually our DMs will be playing on the same flank but in 2 different positions, and you can use it to figure out exactly where another ship is, or if somebody's doing something weird on one side. But that only works because we have 2 people with RPF on the same flank usually.
And kid, this is why you always take bearing flagging CW, because you never know what kind of ship you're gonna run.
So I just love your play in the Salem is effectively just scaring off the Stalingrad. You don't even have to kill him; he's just out of the fight essentially.
Yeah, no, he is doing absolutely nothing for his team by being forced all the way to the back. He can't bring in any target. Yeah. And as you can see, Red Front's Des Moines right there.
Eventually,
you'll
just
push
win
up around that corner for free.
Eventually, you'll just win it. Like superior firepower.
Because if he turns in, you know, I am gonna clap him with armor piercing if he wants to get his guns on Red Front. And Red Front is still sitting bow in, just because he's sitting there primarily to counter the Yamato. That way we know exactly where his movements are. My problem was I couldn't play on the 9-10 line because there was a chance that Yamato might have pushed out. Obviously, you know, going back and looking at the replay now, he wasn't going to do that. But if I play on the 9-10 line, my main fear is that I am going to be pushed too far back to where if I have to circle back in, it's going to take too long. That's why I played inside as opposed to outside. I mean, at this point right here, I should have honestly just disengaged and then honestly gone up to the 9-10 line, but it didn't really matter in this case because we're up by so many points. But it's a misplay by staying inside as opposed to outside, because staying inside, I am at higher risk if something in the 1-2 line, I'm at higher risk of getting deleted. Stalin still can't get his guns to bear on anything. Red Front is basically just reversing right there just to meme the Yamato. And he's acceleration Des Moines, so good luck with Yamato turrets. Caught. Yeah, you're basically never gonna catch him.
Yeah, that Des Moines will win unless the Des Moines fucks up.
Yeah.
Well, he's not gonna win, but he's not gonna die.
Well, I meant like live in spot, not actually win in a fight.
Oh, you gotta figure right here. I've traded 88, 89k off of primarily that Stalingrad, and the amount of damage he has done to me is negligible. So
I can dig it.
You honestly don't have to chase anymore. You're gonna win by points, so just
yeah. I should have just like disengaged right there.
Greed.
Yeah, I just figured if we frag him, it just gets the game over with quicker. He didn't end up. I don't think we killed him, but
I think you're just saying that because you wanted damage, and you can end up on CW damage leaderboards. Oof! Oh, you actually died here.
And you pushed out too far.
Yeah, I pushed up too deep.
You're still gonna win on points, though, so that's not gonna matter. Unless, of course, red dies here, so yeah.
Unless someone else dies, you still win by points.
The magic of CW ticks.
Is that the last replay we have?
I hope so, because I think we don't have anything else to talk about.
I guess the one thing I wanted to talk about is yeah, right. The one thing I wanted to quickly just touch on before we're done is King of the Sea. I think we all want to do a King of the Sea stream, and a couple people have asked me about it. I think the answer on that is let's see how the rework goes out, and I don't know, we'll have a skirmish or two, because right now, if we did one, we'd just kind of be talking about theory without actually playing like, you know, coordinated team battles in it. So I don't know, I plan to hopefully have one in the next like month before King of the Sea. But I don't know, if we just talk about it, it's really not going to be useful information.
I'm genuinely hopeful for the CV rework. Like, in my mind, there is no possibility for the rework to end up being any worse than the current state of carriers. I don't know how it'll work out for COTS, but for randoms at the very least, it can't get worse.
Let's not jinx it, please.
No, it's not jinxing it. It is physically impossible for it to get worse. I promise you.
Sounds like a Battleship player through and through.
Exactly.
I'm at the top of the leaderboards on Browserboy now.
Dude, I can't. No, see, you're wrong there, because I can't wait for the day the patch drops. Yikes is going to be running triple CV divs, and we're going to do nothing but rocket strafe Battleship players and group them out of the game.
Wait, can you actually do multiple CV diffs now?
Fuck yeah, you can. No. Last
It
I heard,
cannot get worse. It's not possible.
dude. Okay, William, we're gonna hunt you down and rocket strafe you all game.
Oh god.
Well, guess what? You can't rocket strafe me if I'm playing Tier 9 ranked, because carriers don't exist at Tier 9.
Oh,
I
boy,
like
I
to play
can't,
ranked the first time this time because no CV boys.
dude. I can't wait for
Get
the
fucked, carriers.
77.
You don't get to play ranked.
I can't wait for the 7v7 Kitakaze games, dude.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally what it's gonna be.
Kitakaze.
Anyone here have any?
He is
Rectal
more
cancer.
broken than Harugumo.
We get a free respect, right? For end of season.
Dude, imagine not having like
I
Probably.
think you get a free respect for like the captain
rework.
skills changing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm
that's
gonna
only
save
for
my
carrier
skill
captains,
points for
though.
then.
It's like a 2-for-1 respect deal.
Yeah.
And
Why
battles
not?
And carriers.
Dude, imagine not having like 8 million Captain XP saved up now.
Oh god.
Yeah. Fuck you too. All right.
It's literally like 6 or 7. I don't even know.
I'm only at like 700k, and I'm saving every single bit of Elite Commander XP I have for Russian battleships.
How many do you even need to get from 1 to 19?
It's about
Um,
1.2.
About 1 point. It's like 1.8 mil.
No,
Yeah, you
I
got
have
it now.
I pinned it
Oh,
somewhere.
you're a collector. I forgot. I
Oh,
forgot
it's
it's
like 1.2,
a
isn't it?
collector.
It's 1.7
okay.
million.
I'm looking
Yeah,
for a
but
very-
usually you'll have like a 3 or a 10-point commander just knocking around somewhere.
Yeah, so it's
Bro,
not...
I have so many Krispy Kreme captains from the Santa containers, dude. I'm
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
sticking those on every single one of my Russian battleships, dude.
Okay. All right. So I guess that's it.
I think
Yeah.
that's about it.
Should be.
I don't
Alright.
think there's much else we can talk about at this point.
Nope.
The only thing I was looking at, I don't think I'll have it in time, is I was gonna look for a funny clan battles video, but never mind. So
Alright,
yeah,
so
that's
I-
all good. Thanks for joining us, guys. Like I said, we'll do one on King
No
of the Sea.
CV.
Wait, no, congrats, no CV for winning.
God, dude, I'm so looking forward to that being on the map. God, it's so funny.
So
Yeah.
that'll be on North, right?
Yeah.
It'll be on North.
Unfortunately, one of the worst maps in the game, but yes.
Yeah, but
I actually like.
it's on a map.
I think it was someone in 07 who brought it up. Like, imagine renaming yourself to South. That's a good one.
That'd
That was
have
it.
been kind of
Yes.
funny.
So that's
Hey,
it.
guys.
Have a good night, guys.